What's going on, guys? Menthol here. So today I'm going to be sharing my Kratom story, and it's been a long fucking journey, let me tell you. So yeah, let's just get started.
And it all dissolves.
Okay, so before I start, just a little preemptive warning here. There's going to be times where I don't speak highly of Kratom, so just all you Kratom elitists out there, fucking relax. Let me just speak. I'm just going to be completely honest about everything, the good, the bad, that came with Kratom. I'm just throwing it out there. If you don't like honesty or just me speaking truthfully and not completely glorifying Kratom, then just exit off the video because I don't have time to fucking cater to you babies. So my first introduction to Kratom wasn't really a good one. I remember being in treatment and there was this kid that came back from an outing. He went out to eat with his family or something, allegedly. And he came back and his face was flushed. It was super red. His eyes were wide and he had the pinpoint pupils, and he was like cleaning his car, he was cleaning his room, he was socializing. And this kid was usually pretty conservative, and he didn't really go out of his way to socialize or anything, so we all thought that was pretty weird. And so one of the counselors noticed it too, and we thought he relapsed on like something crazy, that it was just that was it. And I guess it was Kratom. That was my first introduction. I was like, holy fuck, I am never touching that shit, hell no. And so that went on, that was years ago. And yeah, I was like, wow, I'm never touching that. And then I think probably 6 years ago, maybe, I remember seeing a video on YouTube about Kratom. It might even have been a Carpo video, I'm not even gonna lie. They were talking about how they use Kratom daily, and it helps with social anxiety, and it helps with depression, pain, all these different things, which I thought was awesome. And at the time, I didn't really have any pain. I had like a little bit of back pain, but I just wanted to take it as like almost a crutch. I didn't want to, I just wanted to take it for fun. But this was a big deal for me because I had been sober for a few years. I was terrified of relapsing, or I just didn't want to fuck up what I had going. And I was so nervous about it. And I just remember taking that plunge one day. I remember I ended up going to a head shop. Got this really shit Mangda Kratom in a bag. Went back to my ex-girlfriend's parents' place and I mixed it in water and down the hatch. And I think I took like a lot. It wasn't like a little bit, but it was such shit Kratom, thankfully, that it kind of evened out, so I wasn't, puking my brains out. And yeah, I took it, and all of a sudden, probably 20 minutes to a half hour later, it was like, oh my God, this is fucking amazing. I feel great, euphoric. No anxiety, no depression. I'm like, oh my God, I get why people take this every day. You feel like you're on cloud fucking nine. And I always hear the same sentiment from a lot of people that take Kratom for the first time. It's like that, where the fuck has this been my whole life? This is so amazing. And of course, anything that's that amazing is sooner or later, it's going to keep bringing you down. That's with anything. Caffeine, you grow a tolerance, and obviously it's never going to be as good as when you first took it. That's with any drug, anything, sugar, whatever. So I was like, oh my God. Immediately right then and there, I started taking it every day. And the first week, it's like, the first time I was like, I can just take this down with water, not a big deal, it feels fine. And then like a week later, I was just struggling to get it down. I could not drink it anymore. So I stopped for like maybe a week or two. And then I realized they had capsules. And that's when I was like, holy fuck, this is so easy. That was almost the turning point. I could have stopped Kratom there, but that was the turning point where I realized that I don't have to taste it. I can just quickly pop capsules. And trust me, I love pills. I don't know why. That's just always been my thing. So anyways, so I ended up getting the capsules and realizing I can keep taking Kratom. This is awesome. I'm not going to end up puking my brains out just from the taste, that bitter, almost like expired garbage green tea taste. It's just so gross. And from then on, that's when it hit. That's when I was every day, never skipped a day, for 5, maybe 6 years. And, I ended up starting my YouTube channel, I don't know, 6 months to a year after I started taking Kratom, because I ended up seeing one review, and I always forget the channel name. It's like PWWWLLL or something like that. And it was just this one lone review, and this guy was so enthusiastic. I wish I could link his channel in the description, but I loved it, and I was just like, man, maybe I could start doing this consistently. I know it would help people out. There's times when I got bunk kratom and I just was so disappointed. I spent all this money. At the time, I think I was working at Subway or something, I think. Keep in mind, I have the worst memory, so just bear with me. But yeah, I remember setting up my ex-girlfriend's laptop and using the MacBook video camera on it and making this shitty review, and I was so nervous because I was like, fuck, this is, before you post your first video on YouTube, you think like, oh my god, it's gonna make 1 million views, I'm gonna be humiliated. No, YouTube is nothing like that. If you post a random video and you don't have a following at all, chances are it'll get like 1 or 2 views. So I ended up posting it, and I was expecting all this hate of like, oh my god, you nervous little fuck, this is the worst video ever, you suck, don't ever post this shit again. But people kind of welcomed me with open arms, and that's kind of when I realized like, wow, the Kratom community is something special. Even with or without Kratom, like these are my people. These are good people, and I want to be a part of this. I didn't feel like a strong presence of like a Kratom community online at that time. Or maybe there was, and I just wasn't aware of it. But I saw all these people come out of the woodwork and really liked that I was doing a Kratom review. So I was like, maybe I can keep doing this. And I remember telling my ex-girlfriend at the time, I was like, God, could you imagine if I got free Kratom and I wouldn't have to spend money on this? That wasn't like my motive, obviously, because I was still spending like hundreds of dollars on Kratom just to get the reviews out because I wanted people to see it, and I just enjoyed being a part of the community and doing my part, and even if it made me look like an idiot posting videos online, I just wanted to connect with people, other like-minded people that took Kratom and had that same passion as I did. At the time, I was taking ridiculous doses. I think I was taking like 30 capsules a dose. Yeah, it was just fucking gross. I'm terrible at taking pills. Even though I love pills, I'm terrible at taking it, so I'd have to do it one at a time because I'm a huge pussy. Yeah, it was just way too high. I didn't even realize that time. I was like, yeah, and I was doing that like three times a day. It wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. But I continued that regimen of like, I'd once or twice or 3 times a week, I'd make a review, and my channel started to grow more and more. And it's weird because with Kratom, I didn't notice any negative repercussions. It lowers your sex drive. It kind of suppresses your appetite, but then after you're taking it for a while, for me, I can only speak from my own experience, after you're taking it for a while, your body starts to adjust and normalize, and when you're on Kratom now, that's just the baseline. So when you're off Kratom, that's when you start feeling like shit. So yeah, I wasn't noticing any negative repercussions because I was just always on it. That's when the passion grew more and more, because I was like, I gotta tell everybody about this plant. I was telling my girlfriend, or my girlfriend knew, obviously. I was telling my mom, I was telling all my friends, I was telling coworkers, oh, you're in any pain, or oh, are you depressed? It's like, I thought Kratom was like the cure-all, and it's not. I hate to say it. Kratom isn't a cure-all. It can help you maintain your pain, and it can help a lot, don't get me wrong. It has a ton of medicinal values, in my opinion. If you're going through a really hard time, it can help ease the depression, it can help with anxiety, it helps amazing with pain and all that stuff. But sooner or later, for me, I know there's a lot of people out there that have been taking it for years, and I respect that. Don't get off it if you're in pain and it's helping you and it's keeping you off opiates. But for me, I wasn't taking it for pain. But we'll get there eventually here. I'm gonna slow down a little bit. So yeah, I was doing the whole Kratom review thing for I think a couple years, and it was going great. I started to branch out. I remember my first vlog, and I was like, fuck, I don't know. Like, after I saw Casey Neistat's vlogs, that was like my blueprint of how I wanted to make my videos. So I would still do like Kratom videos, and then I would try and do my vlogs and see if people liked it, because I was getting bored of doing Kratom reviews. It's an easy thing. Like, you can post a Kratom review, get an easy 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 views at least, and it's just like a cop-out. It felt like a cop-out. I wasn't being creative. You set up the camera, you sit down, you're like, I really like this Kratom. I'd give the Euphoria an 8 out of 10. The alkaloid content, you say all these Kratom keywords. It just didn't feel authentic anymore. I needed to be creative. So like in my Kratom reviews, I would kind of end up showing more of myself, like my personality and humor and stuff, just to kind of tease it and see if my audience really liked me and if they actually cared. And people seem to enjoy it. I mean, over the years, this is kind of just like my Kratom YouTube channel history and Kratom history, so just bear with me. This is my YouTube channel and my Kratom use kind of go hand in hand for at least a while. So eventually I would end up getting, free Kratom to review. I got offers to be affiliates. I got partnered on YouTube. All these things were happening really fast, and I was kind of like, oh my God, like I was thinking like down the road of like maybe starting my own Kratom company. I was thinking about merch. I was thinking about just all these business ventures and things that were opening up for me. And I started to think that I was becoming like kind of a household name in the Kratom community, or maybe it was just my ego. Between me, Philly Kratom, Kratom Hippie, Carpo, there's a bunch of them, but I felt like we kind of held down the Kratom fort, and it felt amazing. Not like that we're higher or above people in the community, but I felt like online presence, I felt like we kind of established ourselves as kind of the Kratom reviewer YouTubers. But eventually I just felt like such a sellout. I was leaving my menthol code to get a discount at certain vendors. I don't know. And I never lied in my reviews. That's one thing that I prided myself on. I never lied if I liked a certain product or anything like that. But I noticed that extracts started becoming more and more a thing, and I started to notice the shift in mentality towards Kratom. People started to realize like, holy fuck, I'm so addicted to Kratom. I'm going through terrible withdrawals. I can't sleep. I have restless leg syndrome. I have diarrhea. People started losing their hair. For a while there, I was like, oh, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, you're like the minority of people that have withdrawals and all that stuff. Because what I was told was that it was pretty much just like getting off caffeine. It's in the same family as coffee, blah, 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 blah. And I know all the Kratom elitists in the comment section are probably freaking out right now, thinking I'm talking shit about Kratom. No, I'm not talking shit about Kratom. I'm talking shit about the people like me who portrayed Kratom as this perfect plant, no negative side effects at all. Getting off Kratom, piece of cake. If you're taking 30, 40, 50 grams a day of Kratom, oh, you can get off no problem. Just take a magnesium and you'll be okay. Little did I know that I remember there was one time I went a day without Kratom and I was fucking miserable. And that's kind of when the red flags started to go up, and I started taking people more seriously about withdrawals, about people not feeling well, people that were like heavily addicted. And obviously everything is good in moderation, but when you feel Kratom for the first time, it's kind of hard not to dive in head first and just take it every day. At least that's how it was for me. I know a lot of addicts take Kratom on a daily basis, and they're fine. They can take the same dose for years. And the one good thing about Kratom is that it kind of has that spot that you can just take, let's say 4 grams a dose or 3 grams, and you're completely fine. That's your golden spot or sweet spot, and you don't have to go up. Because I feel like Kratom has a ceiling. You can take as much as you want, but you're probably just going to throw up. And you don't get more of a benefit. And the common saying in the community is, with Kratom, less is more. And I couldn't agree more. I remember one time, when I was taking 20 grams a dose. And I remember one day being like, this is too much. Like I'm carrying around a handful of fucking capsules in my pocket while I'm at work just so I can, be on Kratom and not have to feel like shit. And I remember one day just cutting my dose in half and being like, oh my God, I have energy, I feel great. Yeah, so moral of the story is less is more. So that went on for years, having this love-hate relationship with Kratom. And, you know, I am still a Kratom advocate. It's helped a lot with things in my life, me staying motivated, helped with my channel, social situations. One thing that was brought up though, when I made a video talking about me being depressed, someone left in the comment section in my video, why don't you take Kratom, that helps with depression. I didn't know if it was a joke or not, and I didn't really take it that seriously, but I was thinking about that. I was like, why don't I take Kratom for depression? Kratom is like a temporary solution for depression, because when you stop taking the Kratom, depression comes right back if you haven't addressed the underlying issue of why you're depressed. It's like a band-aid that doesn't heal the cut, it just covers it up so you can't see it. Is pretty much what it comes down to. But I did appreciate the comment, it was pretty fucking funny. You know, Kratom has done so much for me. I don't want to make it sound like it's some evil plant that has these hidden side effects that no one talks about, or no one talked about when I started. It's done a lot for me. It really has. With work, my work ethic, it helped me be creative at times when I was at a low, brought me out of depression in a way, and brought things to light, which is kind of ironic from what I just said, but it has helped a lot. You know, one thing that I'm so grateful for is my channel and just the community that I submerge myself in, and all of you guys. It's literally one thing I'm so grateful for. And the comments saying, you know, I came here for the Kratom videos, but I stayed for your vlogs and your other videos. I think that's so cool. I will forever be indebted to Kratom, and I will always support it. It's helped millions of people with pain, and people who are suffering from addiction. People would be lying to themselves if they couldn't admit that. A lot of people ask me why I stopped taking Kratom. And, you know, over the years, I just realized that I don't want to have to rely on something to get me through the day. That's one thing that I hated. That's one thing that I hated about being addicted to Xanax, opiates, smoking weed all the time. I just wanted to remember what it felt like to be completely sober and just have my own head and just balance my mind out with no dopamine rush, with all the ups and downs. I just wanted to be at baseline, true baseline, without being on anything. So I ended up tapering. And, you know, people kept asking me why I quit. I was on it for over 5 years, and like I said in my video, people kept asking, but I said in my video, it was just time for me to quit. Nothing happened substantial, and I want to reiterate this. I don't want people to think that I'm anti-Kratom or that you need to quit or anything like that, because people need it. You know, people use it in time of need if they're going through shit, pain, addiction, whatever. So like, I get it. I don't want you guys to think that I'm telling you should quit, or that it has all these negative side effects, because it helps out a ton of people. I just started noticing the negative side effects more and more prominent with me after years and years of taking it, pretty much abusing it. You know, it's with everything. I was abusing it, and I didn't need to be. I wanted to be me again without the crutch of Kratom. And it felt amazing. I remember the first day not being on it. I was like, oh my God, I did it. I fucking did it. 'Cause, you know, I remember there was times where it was like, I'm gonna quit. So I'd just stop cold turkey after taking like 30 grams a day, and I'd be like, oh my God, I feel like shit. I'm never gonna be able to quit. And after a year of tapering, and that's all you have to do. I have to say this every time. Just taper. You don't have to put yourself through hell. Just have the patience, dedication, and discipline to just taper, and you'll be fine. Obviously, you know, there's stuff out there to help with the side effects or the withdrawals of Kratom, but if you just taper, you can get off it. That's why I think Kratom gets a bad rap, because, you know, you stop something after taking it for months or years, and all of a sudden your body's not used to it, so you just feel like shit. It's like, why would you do that to yourself? Don't be a fucking idiot. Anyways, I feel like I'm leaving so much out, but I feel like I covered a lot of ground. There might be a part 2 if you guys leave enough questions in the comment section, but I hope you guys didn't think that I painted Kratom in a bad light, because it is a miracle plant. I just abused the fuck out of the miracle plant, and I was blinded in the beginning by people's reckless opinions about it without explaining that there is negative things about Kratom that should be addressed. But I know at the time in the beginning, if you said anything negative about Kratom, you would be ridiculed so much. People would lose their fucking minds. And I get it. People are sensitive about it. It saved a lot of people's lives. People use it for pain. People rely on it heavily. So I get why people get defensive about it. I think I covered a lot of it. I know a lot of it was my YouTube channel, but that's like a huge part of my Kratom story. Yeah, if you guys have any questions or enough questions, I'll make a part 2, but I think I covered everything that I wanted to. I'm gonna turn the camera off and be like, fuck, I forgot to talk about this, this, and this. But shout out to everybody in the community. I appreciate you all. I hope you can just appreciate my honesty and not completely sucking Kratom's dick and you know, lying about it or whatever. But anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Mother, I don't wanna take my medicine.